Okay, so this is a more complicated example of finding the solution set for an absolute value equation. It says find the solution set, remember solution set, for 3 times the absolute value. Inside the absolute values is 4 minus 2x, and outside the absolute values is plus 2 equals 5. So the key thing here is to write this in standard form. You'll find throughout the course there's things called standard form, and they differ depending on what you're talking about. But the standard form for the absolute value equations is the absolute value part is alone on one side of the equation, and everything else is on the other side of the equation. So the first thing I need to do is subtract the 2, right? So my whole thought is to isolate the term containing the absolute value first, okay? Isolate that term. So I have to subtract the 2 because that's the other term on the left. There's 2 terms on the left, right? And then the next thing is to isolate just the absolute value part. So we're isolating the factor. Remember, factors, things multiplied. So we're isolating the factor containing the absolute value. So I divide the 3 out. See? First you isolate the term, then you isolate the factor. You're working your way towards the x. Now I have that standard form, okay? Now, once you're in standard form, then you can do the branching into 2 equations. If you do it before then, it can be wrong, okay? In theory, you could do it before dividing the 3 out, but people do it wrong because when you drop the absolute value, you'd have to put in parentheses. And it's just kind of a hassle to try to remember that. So just, get rid of the exponent of 3 on the left first before branching your 2 equations to your 2 equations. Okay, so then we split it into 2 equations. It doesn't hurt to say something twice, right? Or even 3 times. Okay, so the left-hand side is just the same as this one. I've just dropped the absolute values. And then the right-hand side, the left is exactly the same. And the right, I've just taken the opposite. Okay, so these 2 should not be the same. Okay, now I could have subtract 4, and then cross multiply the -2, or divide both sides by -2. I just prefer to move this to the right so that it's a positive coefficient. Move that to the left, it becomes minus. 4 minus 1 is 3. You have to get used to this. Okay, and then cross multiply, I get x is 3/2. I guess I'm going to do that the next step. I did the same thing here, except that now I get 4 plus 1, so it's 5. And then I did the cross multiplying, I guess, for both of them. Right? Check my answers. So I just plug it in the left side. I'm putting in 3/2. The 2's here cancel. So I get 4 minus 3, which is 1, times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Yeah, I'm supposed to get 5. I'm putting in the original equation. Right? And then I check the 5/2, and you'll see that what I get inside the absolute value will be -1 instead of 1. And that's why it comes out the same. Absolute value -1 is 1. Right? So they both checked out. So it said, now I look back at the beginning, be careful. It says solution set. And that's why I put them in curly brackets instead of just listing them. Sometimes they'll specifically tell you to list the 2 answers with a comma between them. They can be pretty specific. But here they ask for the solution set. So be careful of that or you'll miss it.